Students, today we will start with the food chains and webs. Okay, now we have already seen the producer, consumers and all. Now we'll see what are food chains and food web. Okay, a series of organisms feeding on one another. Okay, whenever this series is there, it is at a particular biotic level, so it's known as a food chain. So here you can see there are three food chains shown in your textbook. Okay, this is a forest food chain, this is an aquatic food chain. Okay, fine, and this is a grassland food chain. Okay, just go through this food chain, you'll understand, okay, how one animal eats other animal, and it all starts from the plants. Okay, so the first step or the first level of the food chain is always, okay, is made by autotrophs. Now all these levels, they are also known as trophic levels. Now this trophic levels pyramid is given in your textbook figure 15.2. You can see here. Okay, at the base you have got producers, the next primary consumers, the next secondary consumers, and then the topmost one are the tertiary consumers. Okay, so the first base of any trophic level is made by autotrophs or the producers. Okay, they fix up the solar energy. Okay, and then they are consumed by the heterotrophs, that or the next consumers. The first consumer is a herbivore. Okay, that is a primary consumer. The next one are the small carnivores. They are the secondary consumers. Okay, which are consuming these herbivores. Okay, and then last level are the large carnivores, which consume these secondary consumers. Okay, sometimes you have got tertiary consumers as well. That is the fourth trophic level. Sometimes. Okay. Now all this food which is consumed act as a fuel and provides the energy to do work. Okay, so primarily the autotrophs, they capture the energy from the sunlight and then they convert it into chemical energy. Now this energy supports the all the activities of the living world. Okay, it goes to the heterotrophs, it goes to the decomposers. Okay, so the flow of energy between the various components of the environment, okay, has been studied, and there are certain points to be remembered. Okay, then the first point is the green plants, okay, of this ecosystem. They capture about 1% of the sunlight. Okay, just 1%, which fall on their leaves, and then they convert it into food energy. Okay, the second point is when these green plants are eaten by the primary consumers. Okay, now great amount of energy is lost as a heat to the environment. Some amount is given to the digestion, some in doing work, rest in the growth and reproduction. So almost at an average of only 10% of the energy which is eaten is used or is turned into its own body and is made available to the next consumer. Okay, so understand this, only 10% of the energy goes to the next level. Okay, so the next point is therefore the 10% that is taken as an average value, okay, goes to the next level of the consumers. Now because 10% is very less, so very little energy is available for the next level consumers. Okay, so the loss of energy at each step is so great, okay, that this usable energy after fourth trophic levels is very less. Therefore generally we have got large number of individuals at the lower trophic level of the ecosystems. So we have got great number of producers because of this loss of energy level. So we want more energy here, so that 10% goes here and reaches the tertiary consumers. Okay, so the length and the complexity of the food chains also vary greatly. Okay, now sometimes one organism is generally eaten by two or more other kinds of organisms. So many chains are interlinked with each other and then they form a food web. Okay, now interlinking is shown in the next page. You can see here 15.3. okay, how the food web is found. If you can see here, this frog is interlinked in this chain also and this chain also. So whenever the chains are interlinked, it forms a food web. Okay, now again going back to the energy flow, we have got one or two things to be very clear about. The first thing is the flow of energy is unidirectional. It will never come back. If a food chain starts from here to here, the flow of energy will be always like this. It will never reverse. Okay, that is the first point. Okay, and the energy that is captured by the autotrophs never revert back and goes back to the sun. Okay, it will always pass through it to next level, that is the herbivores. Okay, now the second point is this energy which is available at each trophic level gets diminished, means it gets on getting decreased. You can see only 10% reaches the next level, so there is a loss of energy at each level. The third point is this food chain. Okay, sometimes some harmful chemicals enter our body knowingly or unknowingly through this food chain. You have to be very careful, that's why. Okay, that's why, because several pesticides and other chemicals which are used for protecting our crops from disease and pest, they're either washed down into the soil or they enter into the water bodies. Okay, now along with the soil they are absorbed by the plants with the water and minerals. Okay, now these water bodies are then taken up by the aquatic plants. Okay, so because of all this reason, in this food chain somewhere or the other these pesticides or chemicals may enter our body. Okay, now turn the page. Now these chemicals are not degradable, you have to understand that. Okay, so at each topic level progressively, okay, as humans occupy the top level of any food chain, maximum concentration of these chemicals get accumulated in our body, and this phenomenon is known as biological magnification. Okay, or it is also known as biomagnification. So that is the reason why we should, like any of the food grains or any of the meat or anything which we eat, okay, we should wash it, but washing does not remove all these pesticides. Certain amount of them pesticides always enter our body. Okay, thank you.